Testing, testing. Uh, all right, y'all. We are. Give me a second, everyone. I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do is doing three platforms at once. That's what I'm trying to do here, and I'm really am trying to get my brand out there. Because now I am a content creator. I put it like this: I got things going on. Things are looking good right now. Um, I have Story Monster Zero on my TikTok on live right now. All right, if you want to go there, you can check it out. Also, I have Facebook Live on right now. Neil Stories. I have Neil Stories on live right now, and I have my YouTube channel on live right now. Neil, I have a story to tell. This is only going. This is a test. This is a test, but this is what I want to start doing, and if, I want to try this a couple of times. And if this is successful, hopefully this will be a continue to do this. I'm trying to get some secrets down pat. I have one, two. I have four cameras going on. I have four, wait three. I have three cameras going on, and I have another camera. I have another camera going on my YouTube. So this is nice. This is real nice. But since some people are joining me, what I would like to do is what I like to do is talk about mental illness. I would like to talk about stop judging people because they act a certain way. A lot of times people will say things, you look at someone and say, people laugh at them, or they say, oh, they're not weird. But I mean, they look weird. No, why are you judging somebody? You don't know what's in that person's head. Always, maybe give them some help. Try to help them. Sometimes, I mean, if it, especially a lot of times, people are mentally ill and nobody knows. So my whole thing is, instead of judging them, try to give them help. Sometimes they don't want the help, but especially loved ones, we have as family members, we have to be more understanding about people who's mentally ill. And that's one of my passions right now. I am going to start talking about mental illness because it's so misunderstood. I'm 44 years old and I'm about to be 45 in a couple of days. Oh, 3 more days. Hey, okay, back to seriousness. And mental illness is in my family. And when I was younger, people used to just say, "Oh, they just crazy." That's what, especially in the black community, we used to just say we didn't know nothing about mental illness. We just say, "Oh, they just crazy," you know. And that right there was a misunderstanding of signs. Maybe we could have helped somebody more if we knew as a community the ins and outs of mental illness. And then sometimes we even didn't know that there was medicines available even at that time. And with talking to counselors and medicines and everything, we could have helped a lot of people. And a lot of misunderstandings. It's a lot of situations happens with police departments where if somebody just had an opportunity to talk them down, a lot of situations could have been avoided. And it's nobody's fault. I'm not talking bad about no one, but when it comes down to that, it's a misunderstanding of communication. And my whole thing is, with all my heart, that people need to be more aware of mental illness. In our society, we just go ahead and just say, if it don't bother us, it don't come to us, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter, because you don't know who you can help. You don't know who you can help when you talking about these issues. You don't know who you can help if you just suggest a counselor. People talk about counselors, oh, psychiatrists. No, psychiatrists help sometimes, just to talk to someone who's not going to judge you, man. That's helpful. And with all this stress is going on, mental illness is very prevalent, believe it or not, in our youth. The stresses of social media, the stresses of to trying to fit in, the stresses of trying to go viral, um, is real. It's very real. Suicides are up, especially amongst our teens, man, because they don't. Excuse me. Agree. We need more awareness of mental health, and mental breakdowns can happen to anyone. You are so you. uh, yeah, yeah. Well, hey, I think this is very dignified. My little goatee. Anyway, but no, see, and that's another example. See, on social media, when you go ahead and have somebody, maybe, I mean, just saying something negative, some people are not mentally tough to handle trolls like that. So when you go ahead and look at this on my TikTok, somebody tried to troll me about my goatee. Guess what? That's okay. That's your opinion. So when it comes down to it, people are not always tough enough to deal with these type of issues. And that's very important. There's people on social media who handle cannot handle stress, or they feel like they have to please everyone, or they have to please everyone to feel like to be accepted. And no, you don't need that. You could be yourself. You could be yourself no matter what. And that is what's the most important thing. To go ahead, conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. People don't know how to discuss anything anymore, to agree to disagree. It's that's important, man. Our schools is not teaching this. And all of this goes on to say about mental illness. Look, I'm not no expert, but I live it every day with my family. And when you go ahead and the stresses, you don't know how to handle stress, it's very important to go ahead and try to have conflict resolution. We ain't going to always agree. But once again, that adds on to the stresses of mental illness. You'd be surprised the scientific things like chemical imbalances in the head. People have chemical balances in the head that they don't even know it, because we don't test for it unless somebody is going insane or crazy, and then everybody want to cry when somebody do something that we don't want them to. Hopefully, they don't do. We need to talk about mental illness, y'all. We need to really get it down. We need to be aware of mental illness. We need to go ahead and talk down on the people who is not trying to encourage someone. And that is, my friends, is the most important thing. People will try to troll you. People will make fun of you. People will do whatever they do to make you feel like a look like 5 cent. But at the end of the day, we have to be mentally strong to stop the trolls. So that's what it is. I have family that's actually mental illness, and when you go ahead and you have these issues. Nobody want to talk about it. It's like voodoo. It's like voodoo. Nobody want to talk about mental illness. Nobody want to talk about going to a psychiatrist. Nobody want to talk about maybe you need some meds because maybe you can't handle it. Nobody don't want to talk about how can we go conflict resolutions before you get to that place, that bad place nobody want to see you go through. Some people lash out. Some people don't know how to communicate. Some people don't know how to communicate, so that adds on to stress. So when you want to communicate with someone and you feel like they don't understand you, you get frustrated, and that leads to emotional stress. We need to learn how to communicate with one another. Miscommunication can stop a lot of conflicts, and that's a great example with police and mental illness. When you have someone coming at you with something. The police are trained for one thing, to serve and protect. When you go ahead, you see somebody coming with a weapon at you, what you supposed to do? That is like, it's like you don't, it's crazy, man. I understand both sides. And then the person, the mentally ill person, don't, they can't, their mind is thinking totally different. Their mind is thinking totally different. You don't know what that person is seeing. That person could be seeing something that's totally out of, like, they could see something people think that's not normal, to them is normal. A lot of times people don't understand that maybe they hearing voices in their head. To them, that's normal. Maybe people don't understand that things are different, and everybody, they think they crazy, which they not, but maybe they think we crazy. Mental illness is real, y'all. We need to really take this seriously. We need to take it seriously, and that, my friends, is so true. It's such a real statement. Hey, Beverly, long time no see. I'm doing 3 social media platforms at once, so bear with me. This is new. Uh, but when we go ahead and we look at things, think from a rational point of view. Think about it. When somebody says something to you, instead of just prejudging them, excuse me, I don't know, instead of prejudging them, instead, why you just won't try to understand? Try to understand what they thinking. Try to communicate and see what they are trying to get at, instead of just judging them and just to say, just dismissing how they feeling. This is the problem with our society. We need to go ahead and just learn how to communicate, see what's in somebody's mind and head. Stop judging people because they don't think how you think, because suicides are up amongst every demographic, especially our youth. And when you start looking at the youth and they don't know how to communicate but on social media, and then you have trolls, they don't know how to go ahead and deal with that stress when somebody talk about you. Man, when I was younger, everybody talked about me. You feel me? So it was like, but I have friends to communicate certain things to. I have outlets. A lot of us don't have outlets but social media. No, man, real talk, social media is not real life, y'all, all the time. But our youth really, really think that's above all. It's the new drug, y'all. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm talking for myself too. I'm not saying I'm addicted to social media, but that adds on to mental illness. For example, I'm talking to y'all from a camera. Okay, I'm trying something new, y'all. I'm trying something new. I'm trying something new here. On TikTok Live, Story Monster Zero, somebody is trying to come in. So I'm new to this. So think about what I just said, everyone. It's not complicated. Please, it is not. Just to listen to somebody. Have you ever had someone who don't listen? You want to communicate with someone, you can agree with them, but you may have another way to communicate with them. And then that it leads to frustration. That leads to frustration. And you have youth now that feel like nobody will understand them. You feel like nobody understands them. So when you by yourself and you have no one to talk to face, you have trolls on social media making fun of you. You have people going ahead and saying they don't like certain things. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, what type of life can you live? Come on, think about that, y'all. Think about that, man. The people with kids, children, we have to teach them conflict resolutions. Look at how our children, especially since the pandemic hit, it is horrible, man, and it did our kids so wrong. because they didn't communicate face to face interactions with children. They didn't have interactions with each other, only through a camera. That is, and bullying is real. That leads to mental illness, believe it or not, because people get scared. They scared to talk their truth. Learn to agree to disagree sometimes, y'all. It's real. Please, I mean, please. And once again, I'm not no psychiatrist. I'm not no expert. I'm just somebody who deals with family members who dealing with these issues, and medicines work and psychiatrists work, and we have to understand certain things and be educated. I do a lot of self education when it comes down to mental illness, man. And another thing that helps mental illness is love. When you have somebody feel like loves somebody, they opened up. They open up. They willing to open. They putting you in a safe space. But when a person feel like everybody trying to hurt them, that's that's not cool. Now you know what, y'all. I just went on a rant. I just went on a rant, and for the gentleman who went ahead and tried to troll me, I wanted to thank you for doing that, because you are the same reason why people are going ahead and going through these mental illness issues and continue to be on social media. This the last time I'm going to go ahead and say anything. Instead of being negative, be positive. So, and I had to learn that. I had to learn to let stuff roll off our shoulders. They was like, "There's dust, dirt," like Jay Z, dirt on the shit. Man, I can't even remember how to sing that, man. So, man, so I'm sorry. That's mental illness is real. I'm very passionate about it because I even deal with certain issues. I deal with issues, and people don't realize that mental illness is sometimes genetic. Sometimes mental illness is genetic. It's just like alcoholism. It's like domestic issues. When a child see that as they growing up, it's just a lot of things that people don't realize, that people need to realize that it's mental illness and people need help. Okay, it don't people don't always have to go to a mental institution to get help. And that's real talk, y'all. That's real talk. That's a man. It's 18 minutes, and I'm just I'm ranting, but I'm so passionate about this. Y'all don't understand. I tell y'all one day I will tell y'all my story with my mom. Y'all don't understand that when somebody's mentally ill, it's it's tough. It's tough. Y'all gotta realize that. Y'all can't don't judge somebody. Don't judge somebody because they ill, man. But all right, I'm about to get out of here, and I'm gonna try this again. All right, talk to y'all later. All right.